Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about solids problem. In that we taken pentagonal pyramid. Here you see the problem statement is given. A pentagonal pyramid of 25 mm side of base and 60 mm axis length rest on HP on one of its edges of the base, which is inclined to VP at 30 degree. Full stop. Draw the projection of the pyramid when axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree. As for the given problem, first you have to make sure that given problem is pyramid or prism. Here pentagonal pyramid is given with edge resting. So I will take the initial position with visible line 25, enter 0 angle baseline 25, enter 72 degree 25, enter 72 into 2 25, enter 72 into 3 25, enter 72 into 4. Construct the pentagon. Here we want edge resting. In case of solids, so whatever the reference is given, edge resting or corner resting, that you have to take it on the right side. So that I will explain why you have to take it on the right side. The second position. Here make sure copy is off and make this edge vertical. See, you can see the vertical symbol and 90-degree position angle. If you see the tab here, 90-degree position angle, there you have to place it like this. Then move to convenient position. It copy off, move to convenient position. Then I want to find where is the axis point in this pentagonal pyramid. For that, any two corner to opposite midpoints, draw a line. Any two corner to opposite midpoint, draw a line. Opposite edge midpoint. Then you keep the line joining from corner to uh, apex point or axis point and trim the line joining to midpoint of the edge. Then from remaining corner you join to the axis point like this. Then do the naming. Here A with small letter you should do A, B, C, D, E, and the axis point is, when you see from the top, it is O of O1. Okay, we can move this like this. Then with the help of projection, take a normal line for projection. AE is going along same line, project up to XY line. Here BD also will go along same line. I will take it from D and project up to XY line. C like this up to XY line. Here you see corresponding to AE. Here this is A dash of, mark the point, A dash of E dash. Here B dash of D dash, which is not visible, and this is C dash. So these are the corner. So C is visible corner, B is visible corner, A is visible corner. Corresponding to these three corners, there will be slant edge going to O point. So project axis point O up to XY line. From here, use the center line to draw the axis line. Because along this line, there is no visible corner is coming, so that you can join the center line 60, it is 60 at 90. Select the center line and draw. Then select visible line. Because of my screen resolution, I am changing the thickness. In your case, no need to change. Join baseline first. So then join A to O. This is O. This is O. O dash. And this one is inside the bracket O1 dash, which is not visible from the front. Then join A to O. A to O is visible. This AO from the front it is visible. Similarly, BO is visible from the front. Behind that, DO point will come. That is hidden. But you have to give priority to visible line. That's why you show just visible line. Okay. Whatever comes behind the visible line, you no need to show. So here in the front view, AO, BO and CO is visible corresponding to this AO, BO, CO, which is comes at the bottom of the Pentagonal Pyramid that is near to the observer. So that's why when you see from the front, this AO, BO or CO are visible and measure the given dimension. Okay. So this is the initial position. Second position, what they given? Since it is HP resting problem, you have to give HP inclination in the second position. First, you have to give HP inclination. Draw the projection of the pyramid when the axis inclined to HP at 40 degree. For that, select the first position front view. Okay. Then move this with copy on. Pick from resting edge and place it here and then rotate. Rotate the baseline. You cannot rotate axis directly. If you try to rotate axis, here you see part of the drawing is going below the XY line. That is not acceptable. That's why you rotate the baseline instead of axis line. Rotate the baseline. So base inclination is equal to 90 minus axis inclination. If you the given axis inclination as 40, so base inclination is 90 minus 40, that is 50. 50 press 50 and press enter and give the inclination above x value. You see here, if you give base, if you rotate base through 50 degree, axis will automatically oriented to 40 because of sum of the angle between base and axis is 90. Okay, for that, if you rotate the base 50 degree, axis will orient automatically to 40. First cross verify this axis inclination, make sure it is 40, then go for projection. How to draw the projection? Here you see. In the third position, angle is given with respect to resting edge. So you no need to project axis point O1. Okay, you can leave that and just take the here from here C and O is going. Okay, C is the base corner C and O is apex. Along this line C and O is going. Trim the unwanted line and mark that O and see immediately. Don't create confusion by leaving at the end to join all the line. All the point to mark it. And then draw A projection line. Here you see A projection line is here. A and A intersect here. So after getting A point, trim the unwanted line and mark this as. So when you see from the top, AE is the resting edge. Okay, resting edge is not visible from the top. That's why you keep this in bracket. Whether it is resting edge or resting corner, better you keep it in bracket A. Okay, similarly, projection of B, projection of B. B and B intersect here. Trim the unwanted line, mark the point B. Similarly, projection of C is over, projection of D, D will get here only. Along BD line only, project up to here and mark this as D. Similarly, project E point up to this line. So if it is disturbing, fix the angle 0, press enter and then draw the line up to E line. Then mark this as E. As I told you, A is resting edge. So resting edge is not visible from the top. So mark within the bracket. So when you see from the top, here you see, when you see from the top, so apex is near to the observer, apex is visible, base is away from the observer, base is not visible. As the base is not visible, the resting edge is also not visible from the top. That's why resting edge AE, I put it in bracket. Okay. And I told you the reference, whether it is edge resting or corner resting, you keep it on right side. Why you have to keep it on right side? When you rotate, you see, if you take the base, right side portion of the base is in contact with XY line, left side portion of the base is lifted up. That's why you have to keep right side reference has to be in the right side because right side will be in contact. If you take the base alone, right side of the base in contact, left side will lift. That's why you have to keep the reference on the right side. So now when you see from the top, base is not visible, apex is visible. So first I will fix the boundary. What are the boundary lines I will fix? Okay, here you see, I will zoom this and mark. See, O is the apex. From O to A, is it boundary? I don't know. If I try to join A, O to B, here you see A is coming inside. So this A point is inside this OB boundary. So OA cannot be boundary. You draw OB line. Similarly, BC is also boundary you join. CD is also boundary. Similarly, DE, I don't know whether it is boundary or not. But DO is completely outside. It is boundary. First mark the boundary. Once you mark the boundary, as I told you, when you see from the top, base is facing the plane. The remaining edges of the base you mark with hidden line. Remaining edges of the base you mark with hidden line. What are the remaining edges? A to B. Okay, I am changing thickness to 1. In your case, 0.5 is sufficient. A to B, B to C is boundary, it is visible. C to D boundary visible. D to E also hidden line. And E to A, there is already projection line is there. You trim it and join with hidden line. And also you change this thickness. In your case, you change it to 0.5. So because of my screen resolution is more, I am changing to 1 mm. Again, so as I told you, when you see from the top, base is facing the plane. Only boundaries of the base is visible. Inside line should be hidden. Okay. Then you see here, when you, as I told you, all the edges are over. You have to cross verify whether all the edges are over or not. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, A. All the 5 edges are over. Similarly, so from all the corner to apex, there will be edge. Okay, all the corner to apex. Here you see O to A. Since here A and E is hidden corner, when you see from the top, A is not visible. That's why we put it in bracket. And moreover, A is below the axis line. Below the axis line is facing the plane. Above the axis line is facing the observer. As the below the axis AO and EO facing the plane, it is not visible. So mark with hidden line. AO and EO you should mark with hidden line. You have to cross verify whether you drawn all the slant edges. 5 base edges are over A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E and EA. Similarly, 5 slant edges AO or BO is over CO. CO is not over yet. We will come to that later. DO is over, EO is over. So what about CO? If you see from the top, it is above the axis line, which is near to the observer. And moreover, CO is crossing the hidden line. Here, if you try to draw with hidden line, it is crossing the hidden line AE. So two hidden line never intersect. Similarly, two visible lines also never intersect. With that visibility principle, I will draw the visible line from C to O. You have to make sure that all the lines are joined. Okay, this completes the second position. Make sure count 5 base edges and 5 slant edges AO, BO, CO, DO, EO. If you miss any line, so you will lose -2 marks and this will carry to the next position also. 2 times you will lose the mark. Make sure every edges are joined. Then I'll fit this. And what is the inclination with VP? Here you see it is resting on one of its edges of the base, which is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. What is inclined? Resting edge is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. AE is the resting edge, you see here. AE is the resting edge, which is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. See what is the length of resting edge AE in first position? It is 25. What is the length of resting edge in second position? 25. If it is remains same length, no need to change the, no need to find the angle. You can place it for the given angle only. So when edge resting edge inclination is given, you take -30 angle like this. Take parallel line and from here you take 60 angle to -30. Enter, drag it down. Why you have to take -30? I will tell you. See here, measure 30 degree. See here. Suppose if I place this with minus 30-degree angle, so I will picking AE line, pick from E line, place it on the 30-degree line and then rotate. Here you see, if I place it on minus 30-degree line, so now you can see here in the second position, when you see from the top, base is facing the plane. So base is not completely visible. Here, because of minus 30 orientation, when you see from the front, base is facing the observer. So base will become visible. If it is not visible in second position, at least make it visible in third position front view. In order to give more information about the object, better I take 30-degree line like this. Suppose if you take 30-degree line like this, what happens? Here, this will be 180 plus 30. Suppose if you take 30-degree line like this, 210 degree, what happens? See here, place it on this line and rotate. If you take like that, you rotate like this. In this case also, when you see from the front, apex is facing the observer, not the base. So here also base will become hidden. Here also base hidden. Here also base hidden. You are not showing maximum information about the object if you tilt 180 plus 30. That's why you take minus 30 so that base will become visible in the front view. That is the only reason we take on minus 30 for edge inclination problem in the VP. Okay. So now I will take the projection line. See here along the XY line AE projection is coming. I project AE up to XY line. A up to X, E also up to X and mark that as AE. Then and there itself A dash. This is E dash. Similarly, I take no need to take the axis, it's an imaginary line. Take BD, draw B projection up to this line, D projection up to this line, and trim the unwanted projection. Mark this as, say what is this, D dash, and this is B dash. Similarly, draw C projection, join C line to here, trim the unwanted extra projection, mark it as C dash, then join O, apex point O, trim the unwanted projection line, mark it as O dash. Okay, so then once all the points are covered, no need to take O1 here. So O1 is not required. Okay, it's just an imaginary line, axis line is. So when you see from the front, what happen here? You see, when you see from the front, it just arrow just observing direction I am showing. No need to draw in your case. When you see from the front, base is near to the observer, apex is away from the observer. So what you have to do, you have to make base visible. All the edges of the base must be visible when it is near to the observer. So what are the edges of the base? A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to E. All the edges are visible. Now I will take the slant edges which are in boundary. So O to A, is it in boundary? Yes, B point is coming inside. So O to A is in boundary. I'll draw the boundary. Then O to C, is it in boundary? I don't know. I have to join this. If you join like this, C point coming outside. That means OC is boundary. If you zoom this here and try to join OD, this is coming inside. Okay, that means C is outside. Join OC as a boundary line. Now you see, now you left with two slant edges are over AO and CO. You left with BO, EO and DO. So here if you try to join EO and DO, EO and DO, here you see this is the axis line. It is coming above the axis line, EO and DO. Above the axis line is facing the plane, below the axis line is facing the observer. So EO and DO, if you try to join EO, it is crossing BC visible line. So it cannot be visible line. If it is crossing visible line, it cannot be visible line. It has to hidden line. So draw hidden line here. Similarly, DO also crossing BC visible line. It has to be hidden line. So what about BO? BO is C. It is below the axis and nearest slant edge to the observer. So join that BO with visible line. And it is projected point of the visible face. It has to be visible. So this will complete the given problem. The solution is like. Hope you understand. Thank you. Have a good day.